What's going on, y'all? This is the Loner Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Solo. This is actually the first episode of the new segment I'm bringing to the podcast, man. It's called Breed Value. I wanted to create this segment strictly to, bring value to my listeners and myself, generally just to talk with people that's knowledgeable in a few fields that I'm really into, man, which is health and fitness and nutrition and business and, a couple of more worlds as well. But for right now, man, I got a special guest with me tonight that I'm super excited, accepted the invite to come on, man. Goes by the name Michael Mello, man. You want to kind of tell my listeners a little bit about yourself real quick?
Hell yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your holistic coach and mentor, Michael Mello here. Today, I'm really grateful to be accepted onto the Loner Lounge podcast, especially being on episode numero uno. He came to me asking about health and fitness. He popped into my free Facebook group where I give out tips and tricks to people all throughout the week. I try to hit different topics such as mindset, nutrition, fitness, and overall, how to treat others and, more importantly, treat yourself. Because a lot of people out there think of health as what they eat, what they do at the gym, and that's it. But in reality, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. So when's your health important? All the damn time. So I can't wait to speak more about my views on that and let you guys know what the rundown is and how I get my clients' results.
Absolutely, man. And just again, man, just thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really just want to, I want my listeners to be able to pull as much value from this as they possibly can. I also want to learn things myself. So I kind of just want to get the ball rolling, man, and just kind of let you break down exactly what it is you do, how long you've been doing it, and like what are your key points that you like to hit with all of your clients.
Okay, for sure. So overall, I've been doing this for about 10 years. I've been in the online space for 2, and it started out back when I was 17 in high school and I was looking for a summer job, but didn't want to do like the conventional thing. And this is where kind of my story when it comes to business unfolds as well. So I started out teaching or instructing kids in tennis because when I grew up and I was just, getting my feet wet with learning how to play tennis, and it was one of my favorite sports. Like as soon as I hit my sophomore year, I was a varsity player for my high school team. And ever since I did that, the summer after there, and for 5 summers after that, I took private lessons with one of the top rated tennis players in New England. And I thought, well, if I'm really good at this and I know how my instructors, I've had multiple instructors even before my main coach when I was growing up, I was like, well, this seems pretty easy. All I need to do is create the similar instructions, similar drills, and nail that into other kids who were at where I was when I was that age. So overall, it started out just coaching tennis. And then from there, I started learning more about fitness, nutrition, because one of the years after my sophomore year, so my junior year, I didn't make the basketball team. And that was devastating for me because I was practicing all throughout the summer. I had full hopes that I was going to make it, but I didn't. And my mom didn't want to see me sitting at home crying just because I didn't make the team, something that I tried really hard to get into. So she got me a gym membership, and it all started at Planet Fitness. So, being someone new who didn't even know how to move these weights or how to even use the machines themselves, which the instructions are right on the machines, but it's still daunting to go up to something brand new and just try to figure it out. Cause you never know, what if that person on the treadmill is watching and sees me mess up? It's kind of scary, and I get that. But without fear does not breed growth. So that's why when you're stressing your muscles, or you're stressing yourself when you're studying for an exam, or you're stressing yourself up when you're trying to take care for a significant other, that's all ultimately stress that's going to build you and not break you down. So that's why we experience fear when we try new things that we might not know of, or try to lift a heavier weight we might not have tried anymore, because it's different levels of stress, and it's stressing your body in different ways, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. So fast forward to the future, I started working out at a few gyms, training people one-on-one, and I did group courses. I went to school for exercise science, which I got my degree because I just loved the human body, biology, and anatomy so much. So I went through with that. And I worked at many different gyms, got to see how different people structured their training programs, aligned how they wanted their trainers to work with the clients, as well as how a gym runs, as well as how CrossFit works, how it differs from traditional fitness, how owning a club is different than just owning a personal training studio. I got to internship with physical therapists, chiropractors, and a guy who ran his own little, not backyard, he had a garage area where he did small group trainings and small one-on-one trainings that I helped him train people from the early ages of 12 all the way up to the late ages of 86. Was one of the oldest clients that I actually had the chance to work with. Wow. And it's crazy because it's so different whether you're a male or a female, whether you're training for a sport, training to lose weight, training to gain mass, and just, keep a strong physique while doing that. Instead, like, it's easy to gain weight for some people, but you want to make sure that you're gaining the right weight when you're doing it. So that was the biggest experience that I ever took out from going through school and like doing all these things, where like when I was in college, is because, working with so many different people, you're able to experience all the different ways that bodies adapt to the different types of stresses that you give them, as well as what foods work, what foods don't, what dietary restrictions. Like I could go on and on about this. So I hope that pretty much answered the question.
No, absolutely, dude. And I'm actually really glad that you spoke about all of it in detail like that, because I just wanted my listeners to understand that you're not somebody that I brought on my show to blow smoke up their ass. You're not here to blow smoke up my ass. This guy right here, like he lives and breathes the health and fitness world. So this is exactly why I had to reach out to him, man, because I need people that are knowledgeable in this thing. So anybody with that kind of story that's been that dedicated and put that many hours and all the mental stress to go through to learn all of that shit, damn well they have a special knack for that. So this is why it's important that I had Michael on today. So thank you for sharing that with us. First of all, man, that is a hell of a track record. In case anybody was wondering how I feel about it, that is a hell of a track record to have, man. That's a lot of damn learning, a lot of studying, a lot of self-discipline. So that's actually the first thing I kind of want to get into, man, because me coming from my background, man, and just growing up how I grew up, my family was never really big into health and all that shit. So growing up, we ate a whole lot of damn fast food. My mom had 2 jobs or whatever, so she just order us pizzas and go to work, and then it was always there, prevalent, man. So when I got to be an adult, that was always my excuse, like, been eating this my whole life, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, I was never knowledgeable about health at all. Nobody ever told me how serious it was. I never took any of that serious until just a few years ago. So I just want you to kind of, if you can get into the self-discipline, man, and holding yourself as an individual accountable, even if you wasn't raised with those type of principles and understanding of, health and how important that is, man. Just kind of, if you could get into how, why people should actually take that shit serious and get rid of the mind that they was actually brought up with from their family that maybe wasn't into that type of shit growing up. I want you to try to give them some kind of help where they can find that inner discipline, and just how can they start on that track to being self-disciplined, man?
I like that question. I like that a lot. And I try to answer questions like this, which have a huge like variety of ways that it could be tackled. But right. I'm gonna use an analogy in this situation. So a lot of us have jobs, right? Like you got a job, you work like 9 to 5, whatever your hours are.
Yep.
And you got to go to that job, right? Whether you want to or not.
Yep.
So taking care of your health is the same thing. We might not want to go to the gym, but we have to. We might not want to eat right, but we have to. Everything else is just excuses that get in the way. And those are excuses that you're selling yourself on. And my job as a fitness instructor, a coach, a friend is, I'm trying to sell you this program, but I'm not trying to sell you the program. I'm trying to sell you on yourself, sell you on your health, sell you on your future. Because if you keep going down the same road that's putting you into a troubled spot, maybe you're pre-diabetic or you're 100 pounds overweight, even if it's just 50, you've sold yourself in the past 5, 10, 15 years to get to that point. And it's about time that you talk to someone like myself or another professional in the field that's going to sell you on finally taking care of yourself.
Right. I mean, because tell me if I'm wrong here, man. When it comes to fast food and all of this shit and junk food that's so easily accessible to every one of us every day, that shit actually messes with the chemical imbalance in your brain. Am I right?
Absolutely. It messes up your hormones. And I look at it like this: for the amount of time that it takes. So I was thinking about this too the other night, because I was like, man, I'm really craving a burger right now, maybe some fries. And then because I was with a friend, and I know like him and we always go out. When you're with other people, that you feel more accepting to kind of give in, because it's like, oh, I want to make food, but I don't have enough for two. Oh, let's go to Wendy's or McDonald's or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
You're gonna be like, okay, well, all right. I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, it's gonna take me 7 minutes to drive to the drive-through. It's gonna take me 5 more minutes to go through the drive-through. They might have me wait. That'll be another 5 minutes, and then it's another 7 minutes to come home. That's almost half an hour, which in reality, if I had all the stuff accessible and available in my fridge and vegetables in the freezer, which you can just take the bag, saute it on the stovetop, make meat in a separate one, and have rice cooking in the rice cooker. That's a wicked healthy meal, and that'll be done in pretty much the same exact time. And you know what? It's going to cost less than $5, $6, $7 for the meal. That's only going to come down to like $3.50. And it's all good ingredients, all snap frozen vegetables. So it's at its ripest point. You don't have to worry about the vegetables, being bad, moldy, whatever, because it's sitting in the fridge for too long. It's just all about priorities, knowing what to do, and actually executing it. Because when you see that you're making these meals, so what I teach people is not like meal prep, but when you make a meal, don't just make for yourself. Make it for like as if you had 3 or 4 times yourself, because then you can freeze 2, fridge 1, and eat the other one. And that way you're making 4 meals at the time it would take you to go to the McDonald's down the street, order, pick up, drive home, then eat.
Right. And that's actually one thing that I actually had to learn myself though, man, when I started trying to eat a little better, was that, okay, here's a bunch of damn food that everybody's been telling me my whole, all over the damn internet, that I gotta eat this shit to get healthy. I was like, damn. But since my chemical imbalance in my brain has been so damn used to this disgusting food that I was eating, it was throwing me for this loop and having all these addictive chemicals in my brain. It would talk me out of, they would always tell me like, oh, you don't like that shit, man. That shit don't look good. You wouldn't eat that. But what I had to realize was, man, go to the store. Don't even think about it. Go into the grocery store, buy a bunch of different vegetables, take them home, cook them. You look up YouTube videos, how to make an easy, simple, delicious meal with using these vegetables. There's plenty of recipes online that I found that are just easy and delicious, don't take no time at all. And you will literally find over time what you do like. Everybody likes at least one damn vegetable. They just don't know it yet, but you will like at least one of them. So therefore, it's like a trial and error thing at first, but you got to go try this different healthy stuff, and you will actually find the damn foods that your brain is like, okay, this isn't that bad. I can deal with this. This tastes all right. So once I did that, it was a lot easier for me to stick to some kind of nutritional plan, because we all do have, our brains will accept a lot of healthy stuff. It always talks us out of trying it, but once we do, our taste buds will accept it,
Exactly. And it's all about how your brain perceives that meal. Like, think about it like this. In certain countries in Africa and Eastern Asia, they're eating bugs. And that's a delicacy. Us will look at it, smell it, try to taste it, and be like, oh, hell no, like, no way. But in reality, your taste buds will adapt to the type of foods that you eat. So regardless if you don't like something right now, it's better to start trying to eat it. And then later on in 2-3 years, when you're finally on that right path, you're 20 pounds down, your 6-pack's finally showing, you'll try that vegetable again and realize, wow, it actually ain't that bad. That happened with me with mushrooms, and my friend with broccoli, and many other clients with many other vegetables. It's all about, putting the right foot forward, taking the variable steps. Because like for me right now, there's certain fast foods that I won't even touch. And back when I was younger, I used to love that. Now it's like, and again, it taps into that mindset sort of thing, because I know preemptively, before even like contemplating putting it in my mouth, I'll be like, oh, I just know I'm not going to like this anymore because of all the fat or the grease, or I know this isn't going to be good for you. I mean, I'm not even really going to like it. Those are the kind of thoughts that go through my mind when I'm presented with certain fast foods, like for example, dumplings, like certain really poorly made dumplings from not like a authentic Asian restaurant. That's like one of the most recent things that I could just pick off the top of my head. Right,
man. Right. And see, that's, and again, I'm kind of I'm really, me personally, I'm trying to speak to the people that don't have, a lot of help when they're starting. Like I did it all on my own, because I didn't have any friends that were into fitness or health or that I could talk to about it. Again, my family was not into all of that shit. So I had to just be self-taught, and literally YouTube was my best damn friend when I started trying to get on a health kick, man. I looked up everything you can think of. I watched a million different videos about one specific subject all the damn time just to make sure I had every angle of information that I could get on something before I indulged in it. And I'm telling you, man, anybody listening to this, if you think, oh, I don't have any help to do this with, I don't know what I'm doing, man, YouTube will be your best friend to learn stuff, man. I'm telling you. Or you could go follow Michael Mello online, man. And I'm telling you, dude, you just send him a message. I'm sure that he would be just fine with just
Absolutely.
A little bit of inboxing back and forth, just to kind of just help your mind. That's what these guys are here for. People that's in the health and fitness world. I understand there's a lot of bullshitters in there, and I'm sure Michael can tell you this personally. There's a lot of bullshitters out there that are just there for themselves. They got an ego problem. They want to make themselves look good, and they just try to feed you a bunch of shit. But Michael actually is a very genuine guy, and again, the fact that he went through all of this different shit, all this training and learning to do all of this, and and when he speaks about this stuff, he's really passionate about it. I can tell it personally. So I'm just telling you guys though, man, like, even if you're by yourself and you feel like you don't have any help, man, use the internet. This is one thing I do encourage people to use the internet for, is being self-taught about things. There's so much information out there. Look at all of it and then make your decision. But I mean, don't be stupid like me. Consult your doctor first. If you do have health insurance and shit, if you have a physician, go talk to them first about it. Don't be an idiot like me and just dive into it, and just start doing shit to your body that you hadn't consulted a professional about yet, even though I got lucky. But
absolutely, always consult your physician first.
Right. So this is, I'm trying to really get into this discipline thing, man. Discipline is like the biggest point for me when it comes to being healthy, because, when you've grown up all the years of your life, man, with this specific mindset about not taking nutrition serious at all. And then one day you're just like, damn, man, I'm like fucking 200-300 damn pounds, bro. I feel like shit all the damn time. I don't know how much longer I can keep this going.
Exactly. And it affects other different parts of your body too, like your mindset. Because once you're in that mentality, then you kind of get used to it and you're like, well, this is where I am now, or, well, doesn't look like this is going to change anymore. And then you keep falling into those victimizing habits that are pushing you down the wrong way.
Right. It's self-destructive as hell, man. Like, bro, like I don't even know if I've ever told anybody on my show my actual journey with health myself, man. But I was at my peak about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. At my peak, I was 310 pounds. And I was actually an alcoholic for 6 years during all of this stuff, bro. That's how I ended up being 310 pounds. And I smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day, menthols. Now, I'm not, mind you, menthols. And so I got to this point, man, where I'm like, bro, if I don't quit doing what I'm doing right now, I'm not going to make it to see 35. It's just not going to happen. Like, I'm literally killing myself every day. And I was eating fast food for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack every day, constantly, while down in a pint or a fifth of whiskey every damn night by myself, and smoking 3 packs of damn menthols on top of that, bro. I was in a terrible spot health-wise.
Self-destructive, man.
Man, like I don't know how I made it through it, but something that just clicked one day, and I was like, dude, do you want to live or do you want to die? I had to get real serious with myself and ask myself that question. Do you really want to die like this? You go around with all this depression shit, and you just try to put your funk on everybody else, and it's just a bad vibe to have around. And I was like, damn, well, I don't want to live the rest of my life being somebody that nobody wants to fucking be around, because I always got such a bad energy and shit, making everybody else's mood go down and killing myself at the same time. I'm like, so it just clicked, man. So I mean, what can you tell me about that moment, man, where it just clicks for people? And did you have one of those yourself?
Yeah, I had a few of those moments because, your health is an ever-longing thing. As long as you're alive, you got to take care of your health. So for me, it happened just like you. And that's something I'm going to tap onto later. But since you asked about like my little points, I'll tell you 2, maybe 3 of them. So first time it was when, like I said, I didn't make the basketball team, and I was upset because I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? I was always an active kid. I grew up in a Portuguese home. My dad loved soccer. He actually almost went pro, but he had an injury. So he pushed that onto me, pressured me to play, pressured me to be great. And we would practice even beyond the 2-hour practices that I would have 3-4 times out of the week just for my small, soccer league that was in my hometown. And from there, I was always used to being active, like pretty much every day. And then elementary school, middle school, high school, I would always be playing a sport of some sort. That rhymed. But pretty much that was the start for me. And then when I got to junior year, I didn't want to do track anymore. I kind of just did track the first 2 years because I liked playing basketball online. I'm in the summer on my summer league, but then I wanted to make the school league because I knew that was like more official. So what clicked to me was that I needed to do something that would allow me to have more of that physical outlet, but not defined to, just basketball or a sport. And I knew that I wanted to be a bigger kid. I used to get made fun of because I was always a scrawny, silly dude. So I guess it was the mindset shift of me wanting to be a better person and like overall to not have to depend, especially since I was in my junior year. I was thinking of college. I didn't want to have to depend because I was going to go for college for my doctorates, and I didn't want to rely on playing a sport because I knew I wouldn't be able to play sports when I'm studying.
Right. That's a smart way to look at it.
So for me, my tipping point was when I didn't make the team and I knew I still wanted to be active. The second one was like when I was going through school, I switched out of my first program, which was pharmacy. And after that, I realized that I wanted to go for exercise science because I loved the studies of the human body. I already took all the generic courses when it came to biology and science. So I had that out of the way. I just needed to learn more about nutrition, the actual application, and physics, as well as anatomy and physiology. So I guess for me, my why at that point, which is what I like to call it when I'm talking to people that I plan on working with and helping out, is my why was that I wanted to like look at like the look, and I wanted to portray me as a professional in my my field, I guess, by actually having the body that I'm trying to help people to accomplish themselves.
Right.
And now going back to your thing, you were like, you were at your breaking point. Like you were like, do I want to live or do I want to die? So your why in that case was partly wanting to stay alive. It was survive.
Yep.
But I'm sure there were other key points to that you might not have mentioned already. Like what were the kind of words that you were saying to yourself when you realized, oh, I'm drinking again today? Or damn, that's a whole nother pack of cigarettes gone. Like, were there different keys to your choice to, quit smoking, stop drinking as much, and to finally start learning how to eat right?
Well, the biggest damn word that always floated across my head every time I would indulge in that destructive shit was the word piece of shit. And it wouldn't just come through quickly and then just fade out to the other side of my brain and disappear. That word would come to the front of my brain and stay there flashing, even though I was doing it. And every damn day, it just seemed like it flashed harder and harder at me until that one day I was like, bro, you literally are a piece of shit and you are full of shit. You keep bullshitting yourself. And as soon as you did, and every damn day when you think you're a piece of shit, you keep doing the thing that's making you a piece of shit. I literally had to talk very bad about myself and be very honest with myself. And that is actually where the inspiration to change came from. I had to go to the deepest pit of hell in my soul, me as an individual, and had to look at that ugly fucking mirror that was down there. And I did not like what was looking back at me, man. I did not.
So is it cool I talk a little bit about psychology here for a second? Because I want to tap into something.
Man. Absolutely.
Cool. So what I've noticed with this is certain people have different types of motivation. So for me, as you can see, when I didn't make the basketball team, I wanted to find something that would keep me in great physical condition. When I decided to change my career choice from pharmacy to exercise science, I wanted to be able to look the part. I wanted to get that look. I wanted to achieve something. So I have what's called a toward motivation. I get more pulled towards being a better version of myself, for example. With you want to get away from calling yourself bad names, from doing things that's self-destructive, from not showing up as the best version of yourself. So you have what's called an away motivation. And that's different for each person. And understanding which motivation drives you more efficiently is ultimately going to help you when you have those days that you don't feel like doing what you need to do in order to accomplish the goals that you set for yourself. So for example, like I was just saying in your case, it's like, oh, well, I noticed I just finished a carton of cigarettes or whatever, the box, whatever. I forget what it's called. I don't smoke. So
Right.
whatever that happens, it's like, okay, well, then now it's time to change. So you're going to get away from that. So next time you pick up a cigarette or someone offers you a cigarette, you remember that time when you were like, oh man, I remember what it's like to finish the whole box. Do I really want to go back to that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've never heard it actually quite broke down like that. With the whole away motivation versus the, toward motivation. I've never heard that before, but that actually does make a lot of sense. And I guess it is like what you said. It varies from person to person though, because a lot of people, they don't allow themselves to get that down in the dumps a lot of times. So I guess a lot of them would have a more toward motivation versus an away one. I never heard that broke down like that before. That's got me thinking now. Damn.
There you go. Mind blown.
Right. No, that's cool as hell though, man, because I think that's really important for my listeners to, kind of understand that, all of our motivations are going to vary, but at the base of them, they all have that one positive thing in common, which is a drastic change is needed. And we know it in the back of our minds.
Yeah. And with health and fitness, it's not good to like necessarily do the drastic changes or change everything at once, because let's be honest, that's going to be too much of a shock. And our systems can only take so much of that shock before we kind of regress into, those bad habits again. Because let's face it, a lot of us are doing these bad habits, whether it's choosing to sit on the couch instead of go for a walk, choosing to pop something in the microwave instead of actually cooking a meal. It's all from not laziness or lack of motivation, but the fact that we're trying to get away from feeling like we're quote unquote still at work, or we're still doing something that we don't want to do. Right. It's kind of an escape, really. So same thing when it goes to smoking whatever you want to smoke or drinking whatever you want to drink. Like you're doing that, or you're going to that to escape something else. And that's a combination of both toward and away motivation, because you're motivated to go toward that numbing feeling to get away from that other feeling of not being adequate enough, or not wanting to take the time or use the energy to do something that's more productive.
Yeah, and it seems to me, man, just human beings in general, though, speaking of the psychology part about it, it seems like we always sacrifice long-term pleasure for short-term pleasure.
Long-term pleasure for short-term gains.
Right. That's interesting to me though. Like human beings we do have a very self-destructive side to it. I guess it's by nature, by design. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it's the shit society's shoved down our throats for all these generations, but we definitely have that in us, man. And it can get really bad out of control if we don't learn to get control of it quick.
Yeah, it's all about time, man. Because you think about it, oh, well, I might not live tomorrow, so I'm going to have this today. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But what if you do live tomorrow? There's a 50-50 chance, or I mean, obviously not 50-50, but let's say if for argument's sake, it was 50-50. Like, okay, you might live, you might not. But either way, you're going to have to either deal with the consequences formed from today, or, won't. So like, that's a very morbid way of thinking about it. But at the same time, that's kind of the extreme that you have to put it in for people to understand what's really going on and what's hurting them versus what's helping them.
Right. So, I mean, just to ask your opinion on it. So can me and you agree that the basis and the moral of this, this talking point that we're on right now, bro, would the moral of it be self-criticism is super important, and also realizing that there's more to you than what your brain is telling you?
Yeah, I would say that. I definitely agree with that, as well as the acceptance of understanding self-love, because you can't criticize yourself without loving yourself to the point that you can achieve more.
Okay, that's interesting. I did not think about that part. Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get the moral of the story out there for my listeners, because we definitely covered a lot right there, man. But yeah, that's pretty much the moral of it, folks. Like, you got to have self-love, like you just said. You have to have a standard of that already there. So that way, you can start self-criticizing, because he just made a great point. You can't criticize yourself if there's no bar to compare yourself to, in your head. So you definitely got to have the love there first. And it's just super important, like to kind of always treat your body like you treat your vehicle, and I always observed this, man. Like, if you see people that have busted up vehicles and their vehicles are just always trash, guarantee you 95% of the time their health is almost exactly a replica of their vehicle.
Same thing with your bedroom at home or your whole house as well. You don't take care of the things that provide you the environment with which you live. You're not taking care of yourself and the vehicle that you're using to travel through life.
Yeah, that's amazing how that works, man, because, they always said that somebody that has a filthy house or a filthy vehicle or a filthy room, they always say that that's a reflection of what's going on in their head psychologically. And I always thought that was very interesting to know, especially when I started trying to get healthy. I was like, damn, man, how you going to clean your body up and your house looks like a rhinoceros just ran through it?
A rhinoceros.
Yeah. That's the best I could come up with at this point, because, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is, man. How can you expect your body to be clean if your environment around you can't even control that and make it clean? How the hell do you expect? Your body's the most complex thing on the planet. Like, how do you expect to do it justice if you can't even keep the environment that it stays in clean,
Exactly. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, I don't have time. I don't have this. I don't have that.
Bullshit.
It's like we all got the same 24 hours in a day. Like, if Jeff Bezos can stay in great health, yeah, I get it. That's a tough analogy to make because, oh, well, he has all the money. He can pay a maid to clean his stuff. He can pay a chef to make his food. And then you just come out with more excuses. But in reality, instead of coming up with excuses for why someone else is able to do it, you should find reasons for how you can be able to do it.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge problem, bro. Comparing yourself to anybody else, man, that'll definitely hurt you. Yes.
The only person you should compare yourself is the person you see in the mirror. And all you need to do is be 1% better each and every day.
Yeah, because it's like you said earlier, bro, damn, I literally just drew a blank, man. Okay, when you talked about the whole self-love thing, you can't love yourself if you're too busy worrying about how somebody else loves their self, is what I was trying to say. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
But yeah, okay. So I'm glad we covered that basis, man, because I think motivation and, getting inspired and finding the why, as you put it, to why you want to get healthy in general. I think it's really just, it's on an individual basis, man. You literally have to be tired of killing your body. You have to be knowledgeable about whatever you're putting in your body and what goes into that food, all the empty calories, the sugars. You got to understand what sugar does to the body, what cholesterol does to the body, what grease does. Like, you just study into all of this shit. Use Google and YouTube. I'm telling you, man, they got some diagrams out there that'll scare the shit out of you. You just look at all what I learned about visceral fat recently, and it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, damn, no wonder that kills people. You can't see it. You don't know it's there.
Yep. That white fat, other known as.
Yeah, I mean, and if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the fat that ends up getting around your organs, right?
Yep, because it's supposed to be a protective layer that protects your organs and protects your major ligaments from shock. But with people who aren't eating right or taking care of themselves, it turns into way too much. And that tends to clog up in your arteries and your veins, as well as your organs as well, because it's weighing down on the insides of your body, making them a lot harder to do their job.
Right. I just wanted to put that out there for everybody listening, man. Just because, I mean, that's one of the biggest killers, bro, is all the fat around your organs that you cannot see, though. I mean, you can see your gut getting big. You can see the man boobs coming. You can, for ladies, you can see your ass getting very sagged and big. You can see your thighs growing, but you cannot see. Yeah, man. But you cannot see that damn visceral fat that's going around your liver and all these in your heart and shit like that. It's gonna kill you. If I'm telling you, man, that shit is scary. When I learned about visceral fat, I was like, holy shit, I gotta do something.
Oh yeah, and we all have it. It's not a bad thing, but excess of anything's bad. Too much water, it's not gonna help you. It's gonna drown you.
Right, because I mean, it's gonna literally have to force your kidneys and your liver double time working to filter all of that stuff. Yep. So everything is definitely best put in moderation. And unfortunately for us, we actually live in a day and time where technology, has actually made a lot of good foods available to us at a quicker pace. Even though you still might have to cook some of it, though, it's not as bad, and it's you don't have to grow your own fucking garden these days and able to eat healthy. There's people that have all of this shit. There's local farmers markets. You could actually get vegetables and shit a lot cheaper at local farmers markets than you could going to damn Aldi's or Publix or some shit. So always think about that in your area. I'm pretty damn sure somewhere in your area there's a farmers market that you could go to on a weekend and pack up all kind of fresh vegetables for a lot cheaper than going to a big supermarket in your area.
Absolutely.
I'm getting hungry right now talking about all these damn vegetables.
Talking about all that good food, you know, the farmer's market.
I'm telling you, dude, every time I mention the farmer's market, I get hungry.
But the best thing with the farmer's market is, especially if you're getting fruit, like obviously it doesn't have a long shelf life. So what you should do, go to the farmer's market. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be good. So once you get that, go home, wash it, rinse it, put them in little freezer baggies, and you got frozen fruit that's snap frozen. What snap frozen means, it's frozen at its ripest point. So when you take it back out and defreeze it, you can either have it as a snack or pop it in a smoothie in the morning and save even more time on breakfast. And you don't got to skip breakfast. You just put it in a shake with some protein powder, a milk or milk substitute. You got your fat, carbs, and protein right there. It's a perfect breakfast.
Right. Damn, that sounds good too, though, man. I'm definitely finna start really getting into the farmer's market thing. I live in the South too, so we got plenty of those down here.
Plenty of that, yeah.
Yeah, so let me ask you this there, man. I'm actually curious to what you would say to this. So if you had to put out, kind of a generalized, I'm talking about not individually specific, but a generalized diet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that almost anybody should probably incorporate these foods into their 3 meals, big meals out of the day. What would you suggest to them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Well, it all depends on what a person's goals are. So like someone who's trying to lose weight will have different goals than someone trying to gain weight. But,
let's do the weight loss one first, because I think a lot of people struggle with that one before they do any kind of muscle building. I think everybody's main goal first would be to like lose a little fat. Let's start with that one.
Okay, so for fat loss or weight loss, I would say keep your protein in a range from 40 to 45%, carbs from 25 to 35%, and then fat around 30%. That'll come up whatever the rest is left. I try to keep fat a little bit higher than carbs, especially for when someone's trying to lose weight, because when you're not doing as much activity, your main source of fuel is your fat. You want to keep high protein because you don't want to lose the muscle that you have. But if someone's never trained and gained muscle, they can decrease protein a little bit and increase their carbs, making it a lot easier to transition into a higher protein diet. But you still want to keep carbs the lowest out of the three. And then you always want to make sure that it's all whole food. So I'm talking like not chips, but actual potatoes, not bacon, but actual pork. And for fats, get them from avocados, whole eggs, a bunch of other fruits and vegetables, animal fats coming from your red meats, stuff like that is couple of the easiest ways. I did a whole video that's about 20-25 minutes on my free Facebook group that goes much into greater detail on that. So if anybody that's listening wants to check that out, head over to my Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups, plural, /fit with Mello, MELLO. No W, but I'm still chilling. And then I'll tag you in that video and we'll get you on the right path.
Yeah, definitely tag me in that, man, so I can share it on my podcast page as well, bro, so that people can get that information. I would actually want to watch that in more depth as well. So yeah, I mean, that's actually one thing that I always tell people, bro, is that, so I've heard about a lot of people nowadays are getting on the whole intermittent fasting thing, and I've always been eager to try that. But right now, the thing that I'm doing is, I'm eating a pretty big, a pretty healthy, big breakfast in the mornings, and it really does fuel me up. But I have always been interested in getting into this intermittent fasting. Now, do you recommend, because I know all these new fad diets that pop up, it scares the shit out of a lot of people, especially me. So do you think that's a diet that's actually worth going for, or do you think that's something that's just a fad, it'll pass, and it's not that much science behind it? What's your take on that?
Every diet's going to work. The main thing is your calories in versus your calories out. And a lot of people have heard that multiple times and they're like, oh, no, that's a gimmick. Because there's a lot of other things that go into it. Just because if you're putting X amount of calories in doesn't mean you're going to be gaining X amount of, or losing X amount of pounds for the amount of time that you do that. It's just not the case. But having high quality foods, making sure you're eating at the right times, and making sure you're eating the type of foods that's stuff that you like and continuously do until and beyond once you reach your goals. And that's the best way that you're going to get to the desired weight or desired physique that you're ultimately trying to accomplish. So the best diet is the diet you can stick to. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. When it comes to intermittent fasting, I have tried that in the past. I did that with college when I would have morning courses and Well, it was college. I was partying, so I would be up late, wake up, barely want to go to class, and of course, no time to make a meal or have anything prepared before class because I just got to run right to class. I have my alarm clock late. So if you're someone like that who really, and if you don't like eating in the morning, like intermittent fasting can work for you. The whole thing about it is you don't want to skip your breakfast and then start snacking at night or drinking at night or having, foods just to come up to your calorie goal that you just, pop in the oven, like if it's bagel bites or like whatever. It just has to be good foods and it has to be done within that intermittent fasting window. So I think intermittent fasting is a little bit tougher than having a caloric and macro goal, because then you have the whole day to go through all that and make sure that you're like on track to meet those goals each and every day, each and every week. And of course you can have a little variant around that. So it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Like, oh, I need 445 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and 349. Like, you don't have to be right exactly on. So
Right. And just for everybody listening, man, just to put this information out there to you, when it comes to keeping track of your calories and keeping track of all your proteins and all your different nutritional levels, there's actually a free app you can download called MyFitnessPal, man. That shit saved my damn life. There's actually a scan button on there that you can take whatever food you just bought. You can actually you can scan the barcode on it. It'll pull the shit up on the damn app, and all you have to do is look on the back of the food package and type in the serving amount and all that, and it'll calculate all of that shit for you. Put in your goal weight, your current weight, and all that stuff, and it'll just literally it'll track your calories for you as long as you stay putting it in. All whenever you eat something, make sure you just put it in the app, and it'll definitely keep you on track. That app right there saved my life.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. Another one that I use is Lose It. That's a good one too, because it does the scan thing as well. There's a bunch of different apps. The whole important thing with the apps is making sure that you actually put it in. So what I've helped my clients do in the past, because if they're working, they don't want to take time out of their lunch break to put it in, is you take a picture of your food, you make sure you know what you're doing, you at least scan the barcode and keep it on the app so that you can put it in at the end of the day. Because if you do it all at once at the end of the day, you're only having 3, 4, 5 meals a day. It only takes like 10 minutes to pop all that in the app if you want to do it all in one go.
Right. Absolutely, man. It's really that actually helps build discipline as well, though, because you have to literally keep yourself accountable. You have to put the numbers in. So it actually does help you build your discipline over time as well, though. Just starting with a simple thing like putting your food into an app can help build your self-discipline as you go along your health journey. So I want to ask you about this too, man. Recently I was watching some health videos online and all that, and I came across this guy. I don't remember his name or whatever, but he actually said something that was pretty interesting, especially to people like me that just for some reason we just cannot find the motivation to actually work out. He told, he was saying something about doing these little circuits. So he said, you could put 10 minutes on the clock when you get home, and you can do 4 exercises: push-ups, sit-ups, an ab roller, or dips, whatever you want to do. 4 exercises, put a 10-minute timer on the clock, hit the start button, and try to do as many reps of those 4 exercises as you can do in 10 minutes. And he said anybody can find 10 damn minutes in a day. Even me, I watched and I was like, damn, I think I could do 10 minutes. Like that's not even that bad. That shit'll fly by. So I want to know what you think about trying to starting to get into exercise in that way, doing some kind of small circuits with a small number of exercises in a certain amount of time to kind of build the momentum. Do you agree with any of that?
Oh, of course. Like, depending on where you are, beginner, intermediate, advanced, we all start somewhere. We all got to get the moves done. We got to get those reps in. So regardless of how much time you have put into it, and we can always make more time. Like, let's say we do 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes when we get home, or 10 minutes after we have dinner. Either way, you just need to get the 10, 20 minutes in so that you can build on it. Like, if let's say you're just starting out, you've never worked out before, you don't even know how to do body weight type workouts. Find 2 or 3 to practice each day. Do it for the 10 minutes. Maybe just do it 3 times a week, then do it 5 times a week. And then, now you're doing it every day. When from there, you start doing it maybe in a long increment or in 2 10-minute sessions throughout the day. Everything has to have that gradual change. Otherwise, let's say you just starting out and you do the other route. You go to the gym and you work out, you set an hour each and every day, 5 days a week. You get burnt out real quick because you're not used to it. There's a lot of fatigue going on with that.
Right, especially if you factor in your day job that you've been at all day, and then you try to go do an hour at the gym off the top, without actually being involved in this over a couple of years. You try to do that out the gate. It's like, yeah, your body's going to tell you to relax for a second.
Yeah, it tackles your emotions as well as your physical body, because you'd be wondering, wow, man, I know I need to do this, or I need to kind of try to do this, but like, I mean, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, work's already taken so much out of me. And that's gonna keep you away from getting to your goals ultimately. So we want to be able to do something that is gonna, baby step you to your goals. That's why I call my company Fit and Mellow, not Fit and Stressful.
Right. I love that, man. So, all right. So, because you see, I already lost all the weight that I pretty much am gonna be able to lose at this point, and I've done it all without exercise. I literally just got really, really strict with my caloric intake and all of my nutrients and stuff like that, dude. That's how I actually, because my job is fairly active. So between the day job that I had and it just
making all the steps.
Yeah. I mean, because I stand up 8.5 hours a day. I don't get to sit down at all. I'm always back and forth, picking up dogs, running back and forth, wrestling dogs. And it's just, my job is pretty active. And I cut grass at my job. I do work on my boss's farm and shit on the side. I'm always doing something with that. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of gym memberships and working out. I really just had to watch what I was eating and making sure that I didn't eat as too many calories during the day, because I burned a lot of them off at work. So once I figured that out, I was like, damn, okay. But at the same time, it actually shot me in the foot, because now that I've lost all the damn weight that I could pretty much lose with that at that point, now I've already built up this damn procrastination of, bro, you don't need to do no damn extra working out when you get home, man. Your job is enough, blah, blah. But my body's telling me a different story, though, because my muscle mass got ate up because I lost weight the wrong way. I ate a lot of damn empty calories. I was pretty much starving, putting my body in starvation mode for over a year. So my muscle mass suffered drastically with that. And I did not know that was a thing. I did not know that was going to happen. So now I'm at this point where I've built up this damn procrastination, of working out over a year now. And now I need, when I actually do need to start working out and building muscle, that procrastination is a super loud voice in my head. And now I'm to the point where I got to try to learn how to fight that shit and actually start doing the little 10-minute circuit or something and just stop bullshitting myself,
Yeah, I hear you. It's tough when you work a tough job, which is physically demanding as well. But, that little head in the back of your voice is just as strong as the one in your mind going, let's do this. Let's kick butt.
Right.
It's all about you making that noise. You're the one ultimately thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, all of this shit really just falls back on each of us individually. Though at the end of the day, I mean, we could get up here and try to give you guys a full-fledged plan, step by step, how to do this, and this. But at the end of the day, man, if you don't want it for yourself bad enough to make the decision yourself before a trainer has to tell you, probably not going to happen, even if they told it to you,
Yeah, in some ways. But like you, in that case, like, when it came to you giving up and finally being able to move it, no trainer told you to do that. You did it on your own because you were ready.
All right, but I do wish I had a trainer now, though, man. The specific reason why is because I don't have anybody to motivate me to do any damn thing, and I've always I felt like a trainer would be perfect for my situation, because I don't have any friends and shit that is into the health thing. So
yeah, it's the accountability.
Yes, I need somebody there that's going to tell me, look, Cupcake, get off your fucking ass, hit this damn weight bench over here. You need to do this and do this and do this and stay on my ass like a damn drill sergeant. Now, that ain't for everybody. I'm just a stubborn mule like that, to the fact where I know that'll actually work for me and I'll respect it. But some people, I think we had this conversation once before, man. You can't just scream and holler at everybody,
Exactly. It's the same thing with like, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Right. And see, your thing being based around, a more mellow type of deal, kind of get into exactly why the whole mellow word is even in your business phrase there.
Well, because a lot of people look at taking care of themselves, taking care of them health, putting themselves first is stressful, scary, and like that builds resistance. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to do is make it in a way that fits people's schedules, allows them to understand simple routines to put in place, and instead of, the routines that they've subscribed to that got them to overweight or under muscularly developed. So it's all about fitting healthy habits into your routine that are actually going to drive those results. And the way you do that is by changing a little thing each and every day, each and every week, each and every month, each and every year. because ultimately those small changes are going to lead up to a giant change in the rest of your life and trajectory in regards to your health, happiness, and progress.
Right. So would you agree with this statement here, man? Health and fitness is not a job or an extra thing to do every day. It's a lifestyle change, right? It's a legit lifestyle that you have to that you're going to endure on. Like, let's say you wanted to become a doctor, that's a lifestyle change versus before college and after college. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays we all think of health and fitness as like a job, an extra damn job to do every day. When really you got to think of it as it's a lifestyle. Do you want to live a good lifestyle? Do you want to live a longer lifestyle? But we keep thinking about it like it's an extra job,
Oh, I definitely agree with that. There's multiple ways to look at it. Like, you can look at it as a job because, well, at the end of the day, your job grants you money, which grants you the ability to do other things. Your health, or working on yourself, grants you health, which allows you to work on other things. But at the end of the day, a job for money, you can change the job so you can make a different amount of money. When it comes to your health, well, you're kind of stuck with the one body you got, so you have to take care of it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get a new job. You won't be able to enjoy that money. You won't be able to enjoy your family, your children, and, grow a legacy.
That was some real talk right there, man. I like the way that was put. Yeah, you can't change your body. You can change a job. That's dope as hell right there, man. I hope y'all heard that.
Got my mind juices flowing, brother.
I mean, that was I need to get that on a damn shirt or something, bro. I like that. That was nice.
Clip that.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, so Michael, man, I want you to give out all the links, man. Where anybody can find you at, and actually how can they get in contact with you to become a client of yours, and what area do you work in, and so anybody listening in that area can find you, things like that, man.
Definitely. For everybody out here, I'm pretty sure you guys have an Instagram, so go ahead and follow me on Instagram at FitAndMellow, FitAndMello. No W, but I'm still chilling. And all my other links are on there, so you can follow me everywhere and join my free group that I mentioned 3 times on this podcast already. That's where you're going to get the best help. My Instagram and that free group. That's where I give all my free information, stuff that my clients have faced and, come with solutions to get around, as well as me putting other people up, congratulating my clients for reaching those next milestones in their health and fitness. And I would love for you to be the next person that I give a shout out for making your next milestone a success.
Absolutely, man. So I want you to kind of do this for me, man. I want you to leave my audience with, one final piece of advice. What is the main piece of advice?
Drink more water.
Okay, damn, I like that. He just jumped right in it. I like it.
That's always the thing, because at the end of the day, we could all drink more water. A lot of people are getting overweight or whatever because they're drinking their calories. They're having soda, they're having beer, they're having wine, they're having hard liquor, they're going out too much at the club. Like, at the end of the day, you need to take care of your health first and foremost, and you're 70+% water. You got to drink it.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, though, now correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it if your hydration isn't really right, it like drains your energy, you feel kind of sluggish?
Yeah, everything goes wrong, because if your cells in your body, which are mainly composed of water, isn't able to do its basic processes, then that's going to hurt you. So that's why not having enough water or being dehydrated, it's why your skin doesn't look good. You might get pimples, your hair's dry, you got an itch, your hair's falling out of your head when you do scratch because, it's not hydrated enough. Water's the most essential thing in life that we can do for ourselves and consume. And it's so easy too, just grab a drink.
Yeah, that's actually funny you mentioned that, man. I have heard that float around before, don't drink your calories. I never really understood it at first, but then I finally figured it out. It's like, yeah, man, like water has no calories in it. So you can drink all of that shit you want all damn day with every meal you want to, and you don't have to worry about fucking up your calorie limit if you're trying to track your calories. It's very important. Actually, I don't know how you feel about LaCroix water, but I drink that. I was a soda addict, so I did replace sodas with LaCroix water, but I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, it's just seltzer water. It's basically the same thing. It's just a little flavored. Same thing with Mio. Like, you can flavor your water as long as it's like a 0 calorie, no sugar flavoring.
Right. I just wanted to put that out there for people listening, man. Like if you got a big soda habit, trust me, man, LaCroix water.
Yeah, it's a big way to help cut it.
Yeah, because it has that soda kick to it, but it doesn't have all the bullshit in it that a soda has. So I would recommend. They got a lot of different flavors too. Blackberry is my personal favorite. But
Me too.
yeah, man, I love that one, man. And Mio, I've definitely heard of Mio before. That's like that little liquid that you can get from Walmart and shit, like squirt in your water bottle, right?
Yeah, it looks just like a food coloring bottle, but it adds flavor to your water.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. So, yeah, you guys definitely, like I said, man, take the first step today. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow might not come, but like Michael said, it might do come. So if it does come, do you want to be prepared for it, or do you want to be the same motherfucker you was yesterday tomorrow? Like,
boom.
You know, make that decision for yourself. You will not regret it, man. Just picture how much better your life would be if you was 50 pounds lighter, 30 pounds lighter, 100 pounds lighter. Just picture how much shit you would be able to enjoy in life. You know, how much more traveling you'd be able to do because you'd be able to walk longer distances, take nice.
And how many more smiles you'll make when you finally see that body with all that weight loss in the mirror.
Man,
you won't be dodging from the mirror anymore.
Right. The mirror will actually become your damn friend. It'll actually become a motivator for you to stay on.
You'll actually start cleaning that thing, you know?
Right. right. Yeah, I mean, and that's actually a great point though, man. Like when you start taking care of your body, everything else around you, you'll notice you start to take better care of it because like it's weird how psychology works, but if you start taking care of your body, you'll start taking care of every your environment.
Like your house and your car, like we said earlier.
Right, man. So Michael, man, I thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really do think we covered a lot of good bases, man. Is there anything else you'd like to leave my listeners with before we get out of here?
Just drink more water.
Drink more water. You heard it from the man himself, man. Y'all make sure y'all definitely go follow Michael, man. So on your Instagram though, I gotta ask, bro, do you do any kind of like exercise tip videos on your Instagram, or like what can we expect on your Instagram, man?
Yeah, I'll be popping more of that stuff up. I've been trying to change it up because I got rid of all the old remixes. Like they have little things at the top where I can save my stories.
Right.
But in my posts, I talk everything from mindset to nutrition, fitness, and I'm kind of funny. I like to do the reels and make the jokes and stuff too, but have it pertain to health and nutrition as well. So if you like to laugh, you like to feel good and, you know, become a better version of yourself, I'm definitely the guy to follow.
Absolutely, man. So you guys definitely give out your Instagram one more time for me, Michael.
My Instagram is @FitAndMellow, FITANDMELLO.
No W because he's still chilling, right?
You know it.
All right, man. Well, this is the Loner Lounge podcast. This is the new segment, Breed Value, man. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope to see y'all on the next one, man. I hope y'all took something from this. Y'all have a good one.